there. There's a lot of men going through that in regards to child custody. The parents don't get along, and maybe
Yeah.
the dad doesn't like the mom doesn't like the dad, and there's this, and the kids caught in the middle. I mean, even if you're comfortable enough to talk about it, it's a quite a relevant topic. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
do you want to take us? I mean, do you want to take us through honestly about about what happened in that situation?
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy. People say there's two sides to every story.
Yeah.
So I know the truth in my own head. I know it took me a long while to understand that what was going on between me and the kid's mum wasn't just an argument every day. I was actually, as far as I'm concerned, being abused. Um, if she was to see this, she probably wouldn't agree. But I'm convinced that there's a certain caliber of females or girls, there's men as well. I'm not coming across like that, but that believe scenarios in their head which aren't actually true,
Mm-hmm.
and that I'm convinced it's like an illness.
Mm-hmm.
It's deranged behaviour. Um,
Psychological abuse.
yeah, I mean, I've always tried. I mean, I could tell you so many things about the relationship, and it was arguing every single day. It was horrific. I never ever hit the kid's mum, although I've been accused of things like that. As you do, he's done this, he's done that. Never in a million years did I do that. I used to hit myself. I used to hit a wall or hit anything but the person that potentially actually deserved it. If you get my drift, I'd punish myself. I used to sit there for hours on end with my fingers in my ears to try and block what was being said, because
Mm-hmm.
the hearing it would have made me kick off and react back, and it was like I was being pushed to be that person, which I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a woman abuser, never have been. Have I been on the end of abuse from multiple females? Yeah, I have. And you look at my face, you think he's a rugged chap. He can probably handle himself. He's got one of them faces. But when you come to being with female, I'm very soft. I'm quite vulnerable.
Man, the thing about it is, I speak to so many men, and like yourself, and there's a common theme with a woman. Obviously, women can be mentally abused. Obviously, women can be physically abused. Obviously, the statistics are very high in regards to men doing that to women. But are they really? What are the statistics of men? Because men don't speak, we don't talk. We don't talk
Don't speak.
about abuse. We're in situations. We just try to get on with it.
Yeah,
I have to say, the mental abuse in a relationship can take its toll, and maybe sometimes it's neither anybody's fault. It's just the relationship, and you just have to learn to walk away. But some people are trapped in these relationships;
yeah,
they can't separate, and it's like a negative energy. My heart does go out to anybody that's suffering from that, but I definitely think the issues surrounding men and emotional abuse, like men have egos, right? And for a woman to constantly be picking at a man's ego, he's better, you're a piece of shit. I've seen it. I've been around women that do this to men, and men have
yeah.
to just shake it off as if it's nothing. But that's the equivalent, in my opinion, to hitting a woman,
It
because
is.
it feels I don't know. Listen, I don't know how it feels. I'm not a woman. I've never been hit like that before, but the emotional damage that would do after years and years and years, I could just imagine that it would take its toll. And
Yeah.
massive respect for you for speaking out about that. Is there any tips or anything that you could say to any fellas that are going through that scenario? Any advice?
Do you know what? It was. I can't want to talk about everything because certain things could be seen by the other party and whatever.
Of course, yeah. Of course.
I'll give you some examples. I have been humiliated in public. I remember coming back from London once, and she was drunk on a train. It was my birthday, actually. I came back from London on birthday, and I was being called a paedophile in a train full of people on the way back. Paedophile. And I just sat there like, just get home, get home, get me home, get me home. It's horrible. You know, I'd tell her to her face, I need to leave. I have to leave the situation. I don't want to be here anymore. It was as blatant as that.
Mm-hmm.
You leave me, you won't see the kids. You leave me, da 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 da. You leave me. So I was stuck. I left once and then ended up going back because she lied about an incident that didn't happen. She said it did to her, which resulted in me going back to protect her and the family. And I'm convinced to this day she would maybe terrorise her own. Are we getting feedback there? Is that okay?
No, 100%, man. You're saying, you sound great.
That she would potentially prank call her own family so that she could say it was me through the night, prank call them throughout the night. Things like that. There's so many things and instances, I could talk about. It's a totally different story. It really is. I've been single 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I did marry after the kid's mum.
Mm-hmm.
About a year later to a girl that I went out with when we were 17 for 6 months. But again, a different kind of abuse from her, if you like. She was more loving, but she was very insecure about her own past, and she sort of suffocated me or wasn't allowed to do anything. I wouldn't be singing now for a living, or if I was still with her, because she wouldn't like that. So and rather than like most blokes will just say, I'm doing it, deal with it, I wouldn't. I would do as she said. I would always do what she said. I would always, no, I won't do that, or I wouldn't do this.
Can I say something though?
Yeah.
And I have to say it, right?